Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today, the home of political news and reports on different events in the country. Nigerians right now are in the tunnel of preparation for 2023 elections, and the target for most people is actually presidency if Nigeria will still remain as one country. And right now, Mbaka has sent a very strong message to the president of the country about the sudden closure or the sudden non-existence of this country if he decides to do what he intends to do. You understand? And don't also forget that far back there were also movements where different groups, for example, Masom has spoken about Nigerians' days of existence that are numbered, that Nigerian days of existence are actually numbered if the president does not do what he's supposed to do. If he continues to flog religious and ethnic sentiment, then we should be sure that this country will one day not exist even before 2023. Mbaka has also joined the queue, sending a very strong message to the president. We are going to be looking at the content of his message in a jiffy. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, according to the news, the spiritual director of the Adoration Ministry Enugu, Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, has predicted that the corporate existence of the country may come to an end if the North retain power in the forthcoming 2023 general elections. Speaking during a sermon at the Adoration Ground in Enugu State, the popular Catholic priest warned President Muhammadu Buhari against planning to hand over power to the North. According to Mbaka, the Northerners should forget about leadership in the coming political era, saying there may be a disaster if the North tries to impose the next president on Nigeria. He said that the issue of after Buhari, the North should lead again. President Buhari should better plan well and hand over to the South. But if the North wants to take over, this country will collapse. There may be no Nigeria again if the president, because of whatever, tries to hand over power back to the North. After Buhari, the Northerners should forget about leadership in this coming political era. If they try to make a Northerner next president, disaster will happen. Going forward will be impossible. Going back will be a dream. Anyhow they want to do the political maneuvering, they should make sure that justice prevail. The Spirit of the Lord has asked me to say this because they have what it takes to plant a Northerner. Buhari should remember that Nigerians trusted him when he came in, and he should remember that one day he is leaving that place, which is absolutely true. Now, talking about what he has brought up, especially in the area of Northerners having the capacity, to put another northern president to lead the country, that they have the capacity. I don't know where he's coming from. Maybe from the demographic factor, the demographic levels, they have the capacity. But I still doubt it, because if you join the population of the southwest to the southeast and to the south-south with that of the middle belt, there is no way the North can prevail at the end of the day. And, a lot of things have happened, and the eyes of Nigerians have opened. I don't think that anyone will be whipping up, sentiments at this point again. I don't think. Because as we are talking right now, there are multiple internally displaced persons in the northern part of the country more than any other geopolitical zone. I'm telling you. Now, it's shocking, that it's actually their own people. That's actually Buhari that is leading. And then they are having the highest number of internally displaced people. So now, that's to show you that the sentiment of it's a man from my religious background, it's a man from my ethnic group that must lead, it makes no sense. Because when the person goes in there, all what he will do is to personalize the whole thing. if he is a selfish and a greedy man, he personalizes his position and makes sure that his family, himself, and some key political, friends will be the ones that will be enjoying the wealth of the entire nation. So at this point, I think what people should be targeting is someone who have a track record of good leadership. That is one of the things Nigerians have always failed, to take advantage of. People who have a track record of good leadership. This current administration, before they came on board, I could still remember that there were some persons, especially people from Southeast, who did mention that this thing that you guys are gambling with, we are going to cry at the end of the day. And it ended up like that. Look at the interview that took place the other day where, Sheung, who is a journalist in Channel, asked a question bordering on some of the things that have greatly proven beyond reasonable doubt that this country is not performing well. And listen to the response that was given. The response we were given was far different from the question that was asked. They're talking about inflation. They're talking about the percentage of inflation before he came in and what it's obtainable now. Talking about issues that border on, unemployment and all of that. The president answered the other way around, and people are like, what's going on? You understand? Now, this is to prove to you that what matters right now is us looking for people who have a track record of good leadership in when they were once leading this country. People who have economic capacity to change the narrative of this country. People who have the wherewithal when it comes to unity to keep the country as one. That's the kind of people that Nigeria needs right now. And for that reason, we must team up together to let the politicians know that they are not the people to dictate for us. I'm telling you, a politician is just one individual. You understand? Even if all of them will come together and begin to make decision, if we do not align with it, there's no way it can work. We are not talking about revolting and all of that. If the people can search for someone whom, when he is on the throne, the people will rejoice, we look out for that person, join force together and see how we can enthrone those people to lead us, whether at a state level, local government level, or the national level. That is how to reason. I'm telling you, right now, Mbaka has said his own that if the Northerner is given an opportunity to lead this country again, the country will collapse. But at the same time, we have to be careful the kind of Southerner that we will put in that position. Because if you put a greedy man who has little or no feelings for the people, he will still nosedive in all aspects of life and will still keep us frustrated for the next 8 years. I don't think any Nigeria will want to stay in that kind of a country. So we have to make the decision now. And by stepping up, not just sending out messages to these leaders, they've messed up the system. So what do we do at this point? We've got to see how we can use our capacity and use our ability to correct it. So at the end of the day, everyone will be smiling. For me, I don't care who's going to lead the country, but for the betterment of the people is what really, really matters. We are not looking for someone who will come to the throne and begin to fight political opponents everywhere and begin to run after people when the country is decaying day after day. We are looking for people when they take over power, Nigerians will beat their hands in the chest and say, wow, insecurity is no more. Wow, inflation has reduced. Wow, unemployment is a thing of the past. Wow, we have investors coming in and employment is That's what we really, really want. Nigerians should sit back and think about this. I'd like to leave it there. What's your position on the issue of Northerner handing over to Northerner as speculated by Father Mbaka?